Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. It is me, Dukect, back with you once again. How are you doing this evening? And man, what a story. What an interesting story. And no, it's not about, this I wish. No, I'm going to share this thing here. Not this I wish version of Willow right here, because good lord, just NXT not only in the mud, it's getting closer and closer, digging down to China. And even then, I honestly think there's probably even more stupid stuff. No, we're talking about some big things here and bigger stuff as this, ladies and gentlemen, this right here. Wow. Disney replacing CEO Bob Chapek. Replacing Bob Chapek for, this is for 2 years. I mean, oh my, stupid paywalls. Crap. Let me just, I need to get a non-payroll thing. Let's see. Okay. And also some other stuff here. Let me just put this one right here. Yada, yada, yada. Okay. Give me an article that actually works. Come on. Here we are. Got one. Let me share this. I'm using Brave, by the way. It looks everything looks working here. Here we are. Boom. There we are. This is from a couple of days ago. The Walt Disney CEO company says that Bob Iger is returning to head the company as Bob Chapek is stepping down from the CEO post. Iger, who left the officially company last year. This is last year. It's set to take command immediately. The company said that he will serve as the CEO for 2 years. And they have to say, Susan Arnold say, okay, we have to thank Bob Chapek for his 2 years under the pandemic and such. Yeah. There is no change as the board and everything else. It's just the one boss from the other. And Iger served, for 15 plus years, by the way, 2005 to 2020, and holding the reins to Chapek. And he signed a 3-year extension contract with the company in June. Interesting, huh? On the return, Iger said that he was optimistic about Disney's future and was thrilled to return to the company. Disney and his incomparable brands and franchise hold a special place in the hearts of so many people around the globe, most especially in the hearts of the employees, whose dedication to this company and its mission is an inspiration. I am deeply honored to be asked again to lead this remarkable team with a clear mission focused on creative experience to inspire generations through unrivaled, bold storytelling, is told in a statement. I mean, this, I think, honestly, Iger did the acquisitions from Pixar, Marvel, and the 21st Century Fox, which, there's going to be more about this stuff here. The thing is about his, he just came in. Chapek came in with, by the way, he was criticized for not taking a stance to the anti-gay bill. Under his management, which by the stock value went down 40%, fired senior content exclusive Peter Rice, and passed up a golden opportunity to get digital rights for the streaming the Indian Premier League cricket tournament. The company's registered revenue of $20.2 billion in quarter 3 in 2022, missed an analyst expectations by nearly $1 billion. At that time, Disney CFO Kirsten McCarthy said that the entertainment company to achieve profitability by fiscal year 2024, the company adjusted its target of global Disney Plus subscribers by 2024 from 236 to 260 million to 215 to 245 million. This is again one of those. This is a big news of this shocking news. A lot of it is shocking because who would have thought this would actually happen? Who knows, man? Who, and everything else. Looking at this, this whole thing, and then you look at what, this one here, supposedly, here is very interesting. A couple months ago, Bob, he regretted this. This is a New York Post, coming out, this past summer. This is ex-Disney boss Bob Iger was unhappy about the way the Mouse House handled his exit and considers naming his current CEO Bob Chapek as successor as one of his worst business decisions. Iger stepped down as Disney CEO in 2020, just before the COVID-19 pandemic hit, came to regret his decision as the scope of the challenge facing the company became clear, according to the report. He said he was tired of being harangued by succession and said, "Fine, you guys have someone else run the business," a former Disney executive told Insider regarding Iger's initial decision to step down and name Chapek to succeed him. He greatly regretted it as soon as COVID hit, the executive added. While the succession plan called for Chapek to report to both Iger and Iger-led Disney board, their relationship soured quickly. The two executives reportedly disagree on several key elements of Disney's business, including how the company should be structured internally, its handling political matters, and in response to the COVID-19 pandemic. This dysfunction was so significant that Iger and Chapek had their own advisory teams that occasionally competed. According to a report that cited Disney sources and people familiar with Iger's thinking, and Disney did not immediately return a request for comment. Iger quickly shafted at Chapek's leadership style and reportedly found his successor to be a novice in responding to talent management concerns and politic disputes, such as the company's infamous contract dispute with Black Widow's actress Scarlett Johansson and the clash with Florida Governor Ron DeSantis over the GOP-backed Don't Say Gay law. Iger also purportedly viewed Chapek as arrogant and uninterested in other people's opinions. I mean, it's what the business world is. He's not, that type of. That's what they grow up as. They're just, arrogant, uninterested, my way or the highway, that sort of thing. And Disney executives, who are deeply loyal to Iger, found the succession to be Chapek to be confusing, according to one former executive. No one expected to fall apart this fast, the executive said. When Iger stepped down as CEO in February 2020, effective immediately, tensions between him and Chapek were already running high. The board had expected Iger to remain as CEO through the end of the year. It was about Iger's desire to move the timeline up, and if COVID hadn't happened, none of the stuff between him and Bob Chapek would have transpired. The discord continued even after Iger formally exited his role as chairman. When Disney faced criticism of remaining silent over Florida's Don't Say Gay legislation, Iger publicly contracted his replacement, noting on February 24th that he agreed with President Biden's stance that it was a hateful bill. On March, CNBC, that Iger's commentated the matter had chafed Chapek. The report said that two men had a falling out and rarely speak. Tensions between Iger and Chapek remained high, with the pair exchanging little more than a cordial greeting when crossing paths at the Sun Valley Conference earlier this month. The spat between Disney and DeSantis culminated with the Florida governor stripping the entertainment giant of its special tax status within the state. Disney missteps prompted wide speculation that Chapek could be ousted as CEO, with some floating possibility that Iger could return to replace him. Funny how that worked. But Disney gave Chapek a fresh contract extension, complete with a $20 million annual bonus, a sign that he still has the board's confidence. Well, yeah, that's it. And criticism of Chapek's leadership are relevant internally because the contract extension shows that Disney CEO still has the board backing despite the outside criticism and source with knowledge of the situation, told the Post. The board has brought into Chapek's push for increased emphasis on streaming services since taking over as CPO, with rapid growth for Disney Plus and other properties, the source noted. The focus of the country is moving forward and executing against his vision, the source added. Early on, there was a lot of questions and negativity around Iger as well. I will put some of this in the category of the transition of one CEO to the next. Yeah. Well, this is again an very interesting thing. 11 months in, and like you said, like I put out here, this was boiling up, and now Bob Iger is coming back. Iger is coming back with a lot of people fanfare, a lot of happiness, a lot of joyous occasion, and when you have this type of this joyous occasion, and I'm looking at this personally. I think there's a bit of some issues here. One, the major issue of all of this, ladies and gentlemen, is the fact this type of a turnover, and he has to doing this whole looking for successor again. Who are they going to pick up this time and hopefully, to help everything out? Because right now things. I mean, you look at, say, for example, the streaming stuff. It's not going. It's not looking. It's not looking profitable. I mean, you look at what's happening with Netflix. You look at what's going on, when you look at, right here, and I think this is very interesting. Doug Shapiro, and this is, I think he talked about this, profits and everything. You look at these news about this. I see stuff like that, and but here's something very interesting. I'm looking at you look at the world streaming and everything. You see what's going on right now. Iger is trying to, let me just look at this. The Hollywood Reporter reports this thing here right now. Look at this. There's a lot of blood flowing down the gutters about the streaming wars and such. Talk about the stream world is hobbled by too many competitors, and that online video game giants will do better after an inevitable industry consolidation. At the moment, there's a lot of blood flowing down the gutters of people who are streaming, and some can afford it and some cannot. Malone, the billionaire investor, said during the panel at Liberty Media's Investor Day. The billionaire investor expressed confidence in Warner Brothers Discovery CEO David Zaslav for earlier seeing value in merging Scripps Networks interactive with Disney and then creating scripted and unscripted content. Creating straight and unscripted content with John with the spinoff AT&T Warner Brothers to merge with Discovery. The difficulty with streaming giants like Netflix, Disney, and now Warner Brothers Discovery is too much competition. He argued. Let's face it, everyone went for this mad Oklahoma land rush of streaming. That was a fool's errand, Malone told investors. Yeah, AT&T got caught up in that industry stampede before completing its Warner Brothers spinoff with Discovery. They threw everything but the kitchen sink at it, and they put the runway of the business in a little bit of stress. Malone recounted. At the same time, he argued Warner Bros. Discovery was throwing off meaningless cash flows and synergies expected from the combined businesses were not trivial. Malone also rejected a comment made by an Investor Day audience member that David Zaslav was overpaid and arrogant. Malone, who was a member of the Warner Bros. Discovery's boardroom and a major investor in the studio, said he is obligated to hold a stake for 2 years because of tax implications. So I'm not wasting any energy on talking about who Warner Bros. Can merge or what corporate transaction can take place here. Yeah, that on paper, Zaslav appeared to be overpaid. But remember, almost all of this conversation is in the form of opinions that are priced as multiple as today's stock price. So unless that stock really performs, he's nearly not overpaid. And he's also talks about CEO Reed Hastings when launching his company into a video stream for anyone else, only now facing headwinds because of increased competition. But Malone warned Hastings to tread carefully while bidding on live sports for additional content. In the U.S. market, Marlowe argues sports has gotten to be a tax on the public and to be perhaps prohibitively expensive, unlike Europe where expensive sports offerings has already been purchased in a la carte by paid TV subscribers. If you could buy a big sport event exclusively, you will always gain customers, and then you have to chalk that up to marketing expertise. Malone added Netflix will recover its footing when there's less competition in the stream world and reduce spending on expensive original content. How profitable they are will depend on the discipline they exclude in terms of controlling their costs and keeping their expected growth rational and not throwing too many Hail passes. Yeah, the stream world is going to be in a bit type of stuff. But then, let's look at this right here. Is he's trying Bob Iger right here. One of its main thing is going to make this streaming stuff profitable. It's lost money. It lost the losses doubled. Disney Plus is a sport. Yeah, it spends heavily on content, but it doesn't bring in anything. It doesn't bring in, and that's why they're raising costs, and that's going to bleed into other subscribers at this point. The streaming, I honestly think that people looked at Netflix and they said this was the best way to do it. Now there's all this competition, not just Netflix. We got Amazon Prime, BritBox, Paramount Plus, AMC Plus, Disney Plus. You have Showtime. You have HBO Max. You have countless other streaming services all buying for the dollar, and you sit there, you're like, wait, how many of these things I'm watching and how many of it it's actually this type of stuff? Because a lot of people aren't going to sit back and watch these things. People make fun of talk about cable and everything else. Cable is like no one watching, but I think the issue is that you have all this choice, but now they're being situated Netflix got so much positivity and love because you had everything on there for the most part. Now everything is, heck, I remember watching full Red Dwarf episodes. You can't see that on Netflix. It's on Amazon Prime or Tubi and all this other places. It's segmented. It's segmented on these places. These now they're segmented on Disney Plus. You can't watch this movie. You have to go on this thing or that thing or this stuff or that stuff. It's all these things. And now they're going to try to do this as Disney Plus has been a sore spot for the media company. And now ESPN does another target for deep podcasts, including a review of all the upcoming sports rights. That's why they're looking to basically start looking at other stuff. I wouldn't be surprised if hockey might get get the axe, because not just all of the controversy that it's been courting for the past couple of years and such, but also it's not drawing any eyes to the product. Hockey is not a draw. No one cares about hockey. No one. It's a niche product, a niche sport. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised. This are we paying $800? Wait, why are we paying this much money for hockey? And where no one watches, in significant fashion. I wouldn't be surprised they're going to take that ESPN deal will be the only ESPN deal for a long while. They might just cut that off, same as the NBA and whatever. So yeah, this is this is another issue about the 2-year contract. It's going to be enough to transform the business and find a successor. You can't. I mean, that's what I don't think that's going to be an issue with Bob Iger's return. They say, oh, they're going to repair all this stuff, and oh, he's going to do this, that, and the third. No. The thing is, you got to find a way to actually transform the industry. Not just transform it, but find another successor. And that could be another Chapek situation. And if that's the case, the Iger comes back again. Who are you going to actually sit there in 2 years? You're going to have to, groom a successor and try to actually make streaming actually profitable. I mean, that's going to be exactly. Dan Ives talks about this, saying, Managing Director for WebBush Security says Disney bringing back Iger himself. He's, quote, I think he understands the company basically better than probably anyone on earth. He has instant credibility, but this is not going to be easy. I mean, this is going to be a turnaround story for the next 12 to 18 months. And similar when Jobs took back over Apple, I think Iger faces some difficulties ahead. But ultimately, this is his baby, and he, I think ultimately saw what was happening, and really the clock struck midnight. It was time for him to get back in the pilot seat. And shares are up and all this stuff. But yeah, I don't know if it's going to actually help. I don't think getting rid of the woke joke. I don't know, man. I mean, heck, I don't know. People, maybe that is. I don't know. I just don't think it's going to actually really change much. A woke junk or whatever. I don't think it's going to really change much at all. But the thing is, ladies and gentlemen, is that when you look at what's going on, you see what's happening. At the end of the day, the Netflix stuff and all this stuff, the streaming, this is going to be the real test for him. This is going to be the true test for Iger, Disney, and all these other industry insiders. If they fail here, I don't know where Disney goes. Is he going to have to stay there longer than 2 years? I honestly don't think he's going to be. I wouldn't be surprised, next quarter or like in spring of 2023 or like in the quarter 3 or the summer, he's going to be extended again. He's probably going to be there for another 3 or 4 years because you can't do this in 2 years. I don't see him. I don't see Bob Iger, trying to fix streaming in Disney Plus in one hand and also find a successor that he actually likes and actually wants to build up in the other. I don't know. And that's going to be a very interesting time for the next 2 years. I think he's going to be extended again to really help. I think he's going to get extended because, one, he needs to fix streaming, which I don't think is going to be fixable. I honestly think the one problem that he really messed up at, and I truly believe this, is that 21st Century Fox deal, and that Fox deal where Disney just basically consolidated, bought all their not just rights to Fox, all this type of stuff, but theaters and everything else. That is going to be its death knell. And once that debt and all this stuff, and they're not making money in Disney Plus, I think there's going to be a lot more changes and a lot more cuts that people are going to, people like Iger now, guarantee you, by the time this ends, they're not going to be liking him afterwards. There's going to be a lot of cuts. And by the way, the theme parks are breaking down too. So I don't know what they're going to do. But it's going to be very interesting. And it's going to be very interesting in the next couple of weeks and the coming months and the years and this whole thing. But that's just my thoughts on that. I think there's going to be a lot more things coming down the pike. Anyway, I'm going to take a little break, and then after that, I'm going to be doing that Full Gear 2022 review, baby. All right, thank you so much for watching, and I'll be right back right after this here live on the Dukect Lounge. Thank you so much for watching. We'll be right back right after this.